Hello, everybody. What's up? My name is Gally.
Night.
And welcome back to
The Great Ace Eternity. We're about to ask questions.
Everybody who night voices pisses me off.
Hey, okay. Here's the thing.
What?
A lot of people in fandom agree. First case with him, don't like him. After that, he becomes likable.
We'll see.
Also, you hate Kazuma?
Okay, yeah, no.
And what about the old man?
Doing the dinosaur!
Exactly.
Could have made him sound like Mr. DNA.
I could have made him sound like this too, but that's not the point. Anyway.
It's just fun sitting here watching you argue with yourself.
I'm arguing with yourself. You're talking.
Sorry, talking to yourself.
I can talk to myself all I want. My dad says I lost an argument to myself once.
2 facts.
Two. Waha.
2, in which there are 3 different ways to spell it.
Yeah. I just got reminded of the count censored anyway. That's a classic video. Stop yawning.
Mr. Holmes, can you tell us
Please.
what 2 facts were apparent to you when you came into the cabin this morning? I'm not begging this fucker for nothing.
Oh, you will beg. Yes, but first let us proceed.
That's precise.
Yeah, I know.
Let us precise. That makes no sense. Sorry, the grammar made no sense there.
See, that's probably why my mind was just like trying to tell me to say proceed.
Proceed. Let us proceed.
Sorry, I had a moment of thinking. Anyway, the 2 facts in question were immediately apparent to me.
Yes, I understand, but what were they?
Allow me to elucidate.
Yeah.
Elucidate. No, I don't-
Lubricate? No, thank you.
Really, you like to do it dry? That's not healthy.
Ugh.
The 2 facts that I deduced from a mere momentary
God.
glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. He likes talking, what can I say? Number 1, the cabin was locked from within, rendering the escape of the culprit out of the question. Number 2, the victim was Russian and killed following a dispute with an acquaintance.
Hold on, Mr. Holmes. What made you think the victim was Russian?
Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. I don't know how to say that. That is the Russian word for wardrobe.
Is it?
I don't know. I don't know Russian.
This is probably one of the... Are you looking it up?
Yes.
It's just like when you looked up what was written on Ouchie's fan.
It was a good look up that I forget what it was saying.
Punishment? Sapepurg.
Yeah.
It does mean wardrobe?
Yeah.
So how did the...
According to Google, anyways.
So how did the person know you were in the wardrobe? Because there's no way in hell Kasuma wrote this.
No. Do you really think that Kazuma-sama could have left a dying message in Russian? In their final moments, many find their native tongue filling their head for this young man, Russian.
Kasuma was Russian, was he?
Initially, I considered, Gardirob may be the name of a killer. A certain Robert Gardy, perhaps?
Garde?
But in the interest of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong not to look inside the wardrobe here, at least. Where you found Mr. Naruhodo sleeping soundly. Quite so, I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer.
Why is that I'm Russian too?
Maybe he thinks since you all look Japanese and he had to be Russian, you're all obviously Russian.
That's racist, Mr. Holmes.
To be fair, it's stupid, unintentional racist. I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted.
If it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, did you just assume it's species?
I thought it was a goose, to be fair. And if my memory serves, that outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people.
It had to come in with the accordion.
Our school uniforms are the traditional dress of the Russian people? I had no idea.
And I had no idea a detective could get something so wrong.
I took a photograph of the victim and the message that I might analyze for possible hidden details. I was going to say personal hidden details. His hair's so fluffy.
There's no ink on his fingers.
His ribbon stopped blowing.
And he really is dead. Damn!
This was taken immediately. Sorry. That one. Oh. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered before the body was removed.
Yes, because him had already been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I've actually seen him like this.
Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, yeah, thank you. The photograph of the crime scene has been entered into the court record.
I am confused about something.
Hmm?
So, she calls him Mr. Naruhodo, right?
Yeah.
But they still use terms like sama and stuff, so why wouldn't they just keep it for the people speaking Japanese to use the Japanese terms? In all sense. Because calling him San or something would have made more sense to me.
Could be a translation error.
Well, no, it's clearly a translation thing, but it's one of those, like, if they're using Japanese terms, because they are Japanese, why are they using one English term in one case?
I don't know.
Because I can understand if you're translating all of it, or none of it, but, like, why only parts of it?
Pick and choose.
Also, it would make sense if the Englishmen or the Germans or whatever use Mr. or something.
Yeah, it's okay. There wasn't a dot on the Mr. either.
Yeah.
So technically it was... I don't know.
Anyways, that's just me being piggy.
Can I ask you something, Mr. Holmes?
What, pray?
You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all that, freeing it from the Tsar.
Yes, the train of reasoning that led me to the truth.
Would you mind explaining why you think I'm Rasputin? Okay, I know...
Well, if it helps, he was quite a ladies' man.
I know, like, realistically, he was never even part of the revolution. He was dead way before that even happened, but still.
Yeah, actually, they tried to kill him multiple times. That man was hard to kill. I think he was poisoned, beaten, shot. But yeah, he fucked a lot of chicks.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. So what's the reason men hated him?
I already read this. Jesus.
I don't know what that says.
Conejo?
I don't know the Russian alphabet to be able to tell you how to pronounce the letters. Certainly, if it interests you.
Could you put that one finger down and let me put up one of mine in the middle?
Well, I can rotate the fingers, you see.
Mm.
Oh, wait, I would still be there.
How many times I'm not Russian and I don't speak it?
Well, you haven't exactly actually told me you're not Russian. You just keep saying it in your thoughts.
Shh, you're not supposed to be able to hear it.
I know, that's why I said it not in the speaking.
Can we talk about your deductions before? The things you concluded about me? I mean...
The now famously accurate troubling predicament you find yourself in?
Actually, it was the other details that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and assassin of 16 part.
Shut up, Poe.
It's just the weather.
We were outside earlier. We know the weather. Hot.
That's the temperature. Sunny would be the weather.
Partly cloudy, actually. Anyway. Yes, the more sordid details. It was a fairly commonplace deduction. Here we have this morning's paper. The main headline reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russian via Shanghai. This vessel made a port at Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was murdered.
Since when was Kasuma a Russian?
It sounds like Mr. Holmes has conducted that he was Russian because of Zuma-sama wrote on the floor. It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was a sane, merciless revolutionary. One who would kill the very man who helped him to escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you, villain Bolshevik.
No. How can that be me? I don't look anything like this man. Just look at his face. His very narrow face.
Well, it probably looks narrow because of the foof of beard. Mm-hmm. Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well.
Please, shut up.
And I might add, your name does not appear in the ship's passenger list. Need I say more?
Well, that's because I'm a stowaway.
No, I don't think, even if someone said no, that he would shut up.
He's like my brother.
What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower? Ah, yes, the journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all those particulars in this article. The deeds of the man was perpetrated thus far and those he was plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There can be no mistake. Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with the newspaper reporters, I wonder?
No. What about the part where you said I just returning from Afghanistan?
Also quite clearly stated in this article. Bolshevik has recently returned after a period of subversive activities in a war-torn region of Afghanistan.
So is this 2006?
The Afghanistan thing lasted years.
I'm just saying.
Oh no.
Where even is that anyway? This Afghanistan place.
Was it called Afghanistan in this time? No, wait, it was. Because Afghanistan is actually mentioned in the original Sherlock Holmes stories. That's where Watson saw war.
Makes sense.
Which is why when they did the BBC Watson, Sherlock, it actually made sense he was in freaking exam. Mm-hmm. They didn't have to change it.
Hang on a second. Afghanistan War. Well, this is just...
Yeah, see? 2001 to 2021.
Wow. That's a long fucking time.
That's what I mean. It went on for a long fucking time. There's some kids who didn't even know life without it. It's kind of sad. It's also really sad. That means that area of the war was like bombed and gunned for fucking 20 years. Anyway. Here, take the paper for yourself. A little memento of this great deduction.
Thank you? Question mark.
I have absorbed all that is of interest to me within its pages, especially the comics section. But I see no rubbish bin nearby, so you will be the garbage.
The article about the revolutionary has been entered into the court record.
And you may find the article on the back page of interest as well.
On the back?
Cast your eye over it sometime, if the interest takes you, though you may need someone to interpret.
It's all written in Russian. I couldn't hope to read it. I suppose it wouldn't hurt just to glance at the article. Maybe there might be a picture or two. I hate you.
So, I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being, at least. Do you have somewhere to go? As it happens, the victim's writing in his diaries have piqued my interest. The matter warrants further investigation, I believe, and if I am still too long, the seasickness takes hold. Oh, I suppose you're thinking of the investigation in the cabin next door with which the ventilator connects to. Great detectives are a curious breed. Our minds rebel at sedition. We crave the mental exertion. So yes, I intend to investigate, hence the truth will become clear soon enough.
Do you ever shut up?
No, fuck you.
Do you think perhaps that we could go with you?
No, that would be somewhat complicated.
What? Why?
A simple glance at your wrist should reveal the answers.
Yeah, keep reminding me I'm in handcuffs for no reason.
After all, you're the prime subject in this matter. There's no point trying to turn into a question.
You're the one who decided I was the culprit in the first place.
Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as a culprit at any point.
Excuse me? You're joking. You just said it. Only a moment ago. I fucking hate you.
Dear me, are you clearly misguided? I would have no cause to say such a thing. Well, actually, Mr. Holmes, I did hear you say that too. You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I wouldn't have said that you had the face of a criminal, you know? Not really.
So what, were you looking at my knees or something? A great detective. Really?
Well, anyways,
He was
that was
looking at
then
your
and this
penis.
is now.
What do you mean?
What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate.
Go fuck yourself, man. I hate you. Yeah, thank you. I fucking hate your guts. This is gonna take a lot for me to like him.
I know.
Usually I only hate female characters this much.
Yeah, you do have a bias.
And off he goes, having just laughed in my face. His sense of humor is as twisted as his name.
Naruhodo-san, what are you just standing there for? We must go and investigate the cabin next door as well.
Aren't you forgetting something? What about these? These? There's no...
She just likes flipping him. After Kazuma-sama spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue, you're willing to give up? You're just going to roll over and accept your fate?
If you gave me other choice of rolling over part. She's a dominatrix. No wonder Kazuma had the hots for her. Or she had the hots for him, excuse me. I think we still have some investigation to finish off in here first, okay? Let's carry on examining what we can in this cabin while we wait for a chance to slip next door.
Good idea.
This situation doesn't look good for me, but there's still things I can do to help myself. And I owe it to Kazuma to do everything I can to find a way out of this. Again. And bring the real culprit to justice. Again.
Anyways, we'll do the looking next time.
Is that guy just standing there the whole fucking time?
Yeah.
And is that going to be Hosonaga, or is that actually the guy?
No, that's actually it.
Yeah, I know. That's
I
I shall call him Kermit.
Okay, that's Kermit. But the point is, next time,
This has been Gally.
this has been nice.
See y'all next time.
Bye bye, everybody. Why did I wave?